Hello everyone and welcome to this video on the Python programming language. So in this video I will show you how to create and plot the death cross. Now the death cross indicator is an indicator that shows the possibility for a huge sell-off. The death cross appears on a chart when a stock's short-term moving average, which is typically 50 days, crosses below its long-term moving average, which is typically 200 days. And you can't talk about the death cross without talking about the golden cross. So the golden cross indicator is the opposite of the death cross indicator. It indicates the possibility for a long-term bull market. The golden cross appears on a chart when a stock's short-term moving average, which again is typically 50 days, crosses above its long-term moving average, which again is typically 200 days. So before we begin, if you like the videos on this channel, then be sure to click that subscribe and like button. And to be notified about new videos from this channel, hit that bell notification. And the material in this video is purely educational and should not be taken as professional investment advice, as I am no financial advisor. So be sure to do your own research before making any type of investment and invest at your own discretion. Okay, so I'm currently on Google's website. It's called colab.research.google.com, and I'm on it because it makes it really easy to start programming in Python. So all you have to do is go to this website and then log in using your Google account and get started writing your Python code. So to get started writing this code, go ahead and click on File, then click on New Notebook, and a new tab open up for you, and then eventually a new cell. And in this cell, I'm going to put in some comments. I'm going to put in a description about the program. So I'm just going to type here a death cross program. And then I'm going to create a new cell by clicking this code button here in the top left. And in this cell, I'm going to import the libraries that I plan on using throughout the program. So I'm going to import NumPy as NP. I'm going to import pandas as PD. And I'm going to import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. And then I'm going to give my plot a style. So I'm going to type plt.style.use, and I'm going to use the 538 style. Okay, then I'm going to run this cell by clicking this button here to the left, and this will let me know if I made any mistakes. Okay, looks like I'm good. Let's go ahead and create a new cell. Now in this cell, I plan on loading the Bitcoin data. And speaking of Bitcoin, don't forget to grab $10 worth of Bitcoin using the BlockFi link below in the description when you deposit $100 or more on BlockFi.com. So it's basically free money. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to the program. So to do this, to upload this Bitcoin data, I'm going to use Google's library. So from google.colab, I'm going to import files, and then I'm going to type files.upload to upload the file. So let's go ahead and run this. Click on choose files, and I'm going to upload that btc.csv file. Okay, so it's done uploading. Let's go ahead and create a new cell. And now in this cell, I want to store and read the data. So I'm going to create a variable called df and set it equal to pd.read underscore csv. And then I'm going to input the name of that file, which is btc.csv. And then I want to show the data. So I'm just going to type df here, and let's run this. Okay, so now we can see the data. We can see a few columns here. So we can see the date column. We can see high price. We can see low price. We can see open price, close price, volume, and adjusted close price. All right. And then the dates are from 12/15/2016 to 6/22/2021. So we have 1,647 rows of data, and we have, of course, those 7 columns that I mentioned earlier. And then we have our indices here to the left. They are integer values, but I want to change those indices to be the date. So let's go ahead and do that now. So here I'm going to set the date as the index. So just set df equal to df.set underscore index. And then I'm going to input pd.datetime index. And then here we're going to input df date dot values. All right, so let's go ahead and run this again. And now we can see that the indices have changed to be the date. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new cell. All right, now in this cell, we will use a simple moving average to create the death cross. So here we're going to create a function to get the simple moving average, or SMA for short. All right, so let's go ahead and create that function. I'm going to call it SMA. It's going to take in some data, and it's going to take in some period of time. So period will be equal to, I'm going to default it to 30 for now, and then we're going to default the column that it uses to be the closed column. Okay. All right, so then we're going to return data at that column dot rolling with the window equal to the period dot mean. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this cell, and let's create a new cell. All right, now I want to create new columns to store the short-term SMA and the long-term SMA. All right, so let's go ahead and create those two columns. The first one I will call short SMA, and I'm going to set this equal to our function SMA, and our function is going to take in some data, which will be df, and then it's going to take in some time period. So again, the typical time period for the short SMA will be 50, and then I'm going to create the long-term SMA column. So I'm going to call this long SMA, and I'm going to set this equal to SMA, and then we're going to input our data, and then the typical time period for that will be 200. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this. All right, I'm going to create a new cell now, and now I want to plot the chart. All right, so first I'm going to create a list of columns to show. So these are the columns that I actually care about. So let's go ahead and create that variable called, I'm going to call it column underscore list, and I'm going to set this equal to an empty list at first, and then we're going to input the column names that we want. So that's going to be short SMA, long SMA, and the close price. Okay. All right, so now let's plot the data. So just type df and then put in the column list that we want to see. So these are the columns that we want to see, and just type dot plot, and then let's give our figure a figure size. So I'm going to set fig size equal to 12.2 by 6.4, and let's go ahead and give this plot a title. So just type lt dot title, and I'm just going to call it death slash, there we go, death slash golden cross, and then let's show the chart. So just type lt dot show. All right, so let's run this, and there we go. All right, so now we have our chart. So we can see the short SMA and the long SMA crossing here and here and here, and looks like here and here, and okay, here, and then here. All right, so this is important. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new cell. And actually, I guess I should talk a little bit more about this death cross here with this chart. So again, the death cross happens when the short-term moving average crosses below the long-term moving average. So if we look here, we can see that the short-term moving average is in blue, and it crosses below the long-term moving average, which is in this reddish orangish color here, and then we are expecting the prices to drop a little bit lower from that cross, and indeed it does. And again, we're looking at a chart with the close price of Bitcoin here, and then the golden cross happens when the short-term moving average crosses above its long-term moving average, and we can see that happening here where the blue line is crossing above the reddish orange line, and then we're expecting prices to continue to go up, and indeed they do here as well. All right, so that's kind of the way that the death cross and the golden cross work. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue our program now. So now I'm going to create a function to see the dates of each death cross and golden cross within the data set. All right, so let's create this function. I'm going to call it death underscore golden underscore cross. All right, and I'm going to create a variable that will let me know the first time that I cross either the death cross or the golden cross, the first time that we actually indicate them. So let's go ahead and create that variable called first cross. I'm going to set it equal to 0. So again, this will just let me know when those two SMAs cross. All right. Okay, so now I need to loop through the length of the data set. So to do that, I'm going to create a for loop. So for I in range 0 to the length of our data set, which is df, I'm going to check if the short SMA at position I is less than the long SMA at position I. Okay, so again, with the death cross, we want to see when the short-term moving average crosses below the long-term moving average, and that's exactly what we're checking here. And then I'm going to put in another condition here. So and is the first cross, right? So it's the first time that we are crossing the death cross before crossing the golden cross. All right, so and first cross is equal to 0. All right, so if it is, let's go ahead and put a little print statement here, and I'm gonna put death cross on day, and then we're gonna get the index, df dot index, which contains the date at position I. Okay, and then I'm going to update first cross to 1 to let me know that it went inside of this if statement. All right, else if the opposite is true. So I'm just going to highlight all of this, and I'm going to copy using Control C, then come here and paste it using Control V, and I'm going to check the opposite. All right, so now we're going to check if the short SMA is greater than the long-term SMA, and we already found the death cross, so first cross will be 1. If this is true, then we're going to print golden cross on day, and then I'll put df dot index at position I. And then maybe I'll put also, I will put here a colon, and then I will put expect prices to continue to fall. All right, or expect, how about expect the price to continue to fall? And then I'm just gonna highlight this and copy it. Use Control C, come here and paste, use Control V. And here I'm going to put expect the price to continue to rise. Okay. And then we need to update first cross. So first underscore cross will be equal to 0. All right. So I think that looks good. Let's go ahead and run this. And let's create a new cell. All right. So now in this cell, let's go ahead and show those dates. Show the dates of each death cross and golden cross. All right, so I'm just going to run that function, death underscore golden underscore cross. So let's run that now. All right, so here we go. So we can see that this was a death cross on day 3/29, 2018, and we expect the price to continue to fall. So let's go back up to our chart here. It looks like that is talking about this area here at this time period. And again, we see the prices are indeed falling. All right, and then we can see a golden cross on day 4/23, 2019. Expect the price to continue to rise. And 4/19 is right here. It looks like just about. And indeed, the price continues to rise. And the price, of course, is in this golden yellowish color. I probably should have mentioned that a little bit earlier, but at least now it's being mentioned. And so on and so forth. So you can just see how many times this happened. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7 times, at least within this data set. So we can see that a major sell-off for this asset may be coming. If we look here, right, we can see at the bottom here it says death cross on day 2021 6/18. Expect the price to continue to fall. So again, we can see that a major sell-off for this asset may be coming, but this could be a false signal, and death crosses should always be confirmed with other signals and indicators before making any trading decisions, which we did not do here. So just be aware of that. All right. Well, that's the end of the video. To start an investment portfolio of your own, you can click on the link below and get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850 on Webull when you deposit $100 or more. Thanks for watching, and thank you to the supporters supporting this channel on patreon.com. If you would like to become a supporter on patreon.com, I will leave a link in the description below for that as well. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful, fantastic day, and I will see you all in the next video.